Hello and welcome to Yah-weh's Apothecary. My name is Rhonda and I'm going to make something for myself today and take you guys along. So stay tuned if you want to see it. It's something different. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm actually going to be using and what I'm doing. So what I'm going to be doing today is making a natural, you can use it as a mask or a cleanser. I'll probably be more likely to use it as a mask, but it is going to be consisting of rose petals, just these beautiful red rose petals, bentonite clay, which I have that down in this container, and turmeric. This is turmeric root, which I will be grinding. So it'll be completely fresh with all of the beneficial constituents still in it, because if you grind turmeric and let it set for very long, the beneficial actives in it kind of dissipate or get weak. So anyway, and then the last ingredient, which I will save to share with you guys until last, because it's something that I have not tried before. I've used rose on my face, I've used turmeric in a facial scrub, and I've used bentonite clay in a mask. But this ingredient I have actually not put on my face before. I know it's very beneficial. It's got a lot of good healing qualities. But anyway, with all that being said, let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna start with grinding the rose petals. I've not tried this before, so this is kind of a real-to-life video, so you'll get to see how that works for me. And I'm going to use my grinding mill that I have used many times to grind my wheat berries, but get this where you can see it. Take the lid off, and I'm just going to make a small amount of each ingredient, because I don't want to make a whole lot, because this is a new thing. You know, I want to try it. And I do have some rose buds down in here, and I don't want to get them in the mix today. So I'm going to take, I'm going to put, I think, 2 tablespoons. Those smell so good. I love the smell of roses if it's the real smell. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of rose petals in there. And let's see. I'm going to decide whether I want to blend these up by themselves or put the turmeric in there. I think I'll blend them by himself. And I don't know how this will blend since it's such a small amount. And this is loud, so I'll probably shut the sound off while this is blending, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I did have to switch over to this little magic bullet because I think it was such a small amount. This really wasn't getting to the pieces like it should, because normally this thing is like boom and it's ground up. So I did have to switch over to this, and I think actually probably gonna have to get a coffee grinder, but I don't know. But I mean, I think this is good enough that I can use it today. You know, I'm gonna go forward with this anyway, but I do have this ground up, and you can kind of see down in there, it's not nearly as fine as I wanted it to be, but it's still, I think it'll work just fine. So I'm going to grab something here. Okay, so I grabbed my little dish, and I'm going to just pour this into the dish. you can see it. And then I don't have a whole lot of room here to work, so I'm going to set that over there. I'm going to get a little bit of turmeric put in here. And I'm just going to use a half of the amount of that, of the turmeric, as the rose petals and the bentonite clay. So that would just be 1 tablespoon of turmeric root. And I'm hoping this will blend up real fine. If not, then I'm definitely going to have to get, you know, a coffee grinder, because I think a coffee grinder would probably work better for these small amounts. So anyway, be right back. And it is grinding up pretty decent. Just a little bit more and I should have it. And I think that's pretty good. Like I said, I think a coffee grinder would work better for these small amounts. But we're going to pour that right along there. That turmeric made a lot more than the flower petals. And then I'm actually done with this, so I'll set it over here out of the way. So now I'm going to put the bentonite clay in there. And there is my mix. Got the red rose petals, the fresh ground turmeric, the bentonite clay. And then I'm going to share the benefits of these beautiful herbs. So rose petals. Okay, rose petals is very soothing and hydrating to the skin. It tones and helps reduce inflammation. Rose petals, red rose petals, are rich in antioxidants, vitamin C, also antibacterial, and it really promotes a more radiant, even complexion. Just gives you a more of a glow. And then the turmeric, which turmeric is amazing. Turmeric, it is actually a potent anti-inflammatory. It's an antioxidant, it's an antimicrobial, helps reduce acne. So this blend will also be good for people that have trouble with acne. It soothes eczema and rosacea due to the high, it's called curcumin, content that's in turmeric. And so it also, turmeric also boosts skin's radiance and aids in healing. And it also evens out skin tone, and it's actually an anti-aging herb. And it's also going to help with improving the overall skin texture. Again, so rose petals and turmeric have similar properties. That's going to be really beneficial for your skin. And then the bentonite clay, it deeply cleanses the pores, and it will absorb excess oils and draws out toxins. So once again, bentonite clay, each one of them is going to be good for somebody with acne, but also for anti-aging properties and brightening, toning the skin, you know, just all the overall health of your skin. It can also help with like dark spots. You know, you get dark spots on your skin, which I tend to have that, and I'm hoping this will help me. So I'm going to make this for myself, give it a try, see what I think of it. I think next time, like I said, I want a coffee grinder so I can grind the rose petals and the turmeric up better. Of course, the bentonite clay is already like a powder. So anyway, with all that being said, this special ingredient, which some of you might already be familiar with its benefits externally or internally, you probably do. Externally, maybe you do. But anyway, it is raw, unfiltered honey, and this is the remaining amount of one of the jars that I have. I get from a local farmer, bee farmer or bee apiary, how we pronounce that, here to Centerville, Iowa. And if you're close to Centerville, you know, check out Lunker Lane. You can get their honey out at the Country Roads Meat Market, or, you know, I think there's a phone number on their tags, their labels, that you can get a hold of them directly. I have been using their honey for quite a while, and I really like it. I mean, it's, you know, not all honey is created equal. This has a really nice flavor, and I like their service. So anyway, I am going to do probably, let me turn this so you can see me, probably 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm just going to play it by ear and see, or by eye, should I say, eyeball it, and see how much it's going to take. But I'm looking forward to using this. I'm actually going to use it today. And who knows, I might do a video of me actually applying it and sharing that as I do. So, okay, I'm going to go with one more, so it's going to be 2 tablespoons here. If anybody on here that sees this video knows me, you know that I've always been passionate about skincare. That's been a thing of mine since I was like 13. Got my aesthetic license in '09, and just been practicing skincare for several years now. I was working as an esthetician, but I quit that. The market's kind of saturated on that anymore, and I left. I left Des Moines, so I just kind of, you know, left my business behind, but I did have a skincare center up there called Divine Lotus over in Urbandale. So anyway, I'm gonna gently stir this up. I should have probably got a little deeper bowl, but I wanted this to be able to be seen easy enough. I'm not sure I'm in the camera very well there. Sorry about that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up and let it set so that the active ingredients can kind of infuse into the honey. I may have to put some more honey in this. I just don't want it to be too thin because I want it as a mask. But I think it does need another tablespoon, and then that should do it. Yeah, it's just amazing how many health benefits raw, unfiltered honey has. It's got live enzymes in it too, if it's been, if it's not been filtered or heated up, should I say. And when you use honey in a tea, it's best to not put your honey in, boiling hot water. I think I'm needing to step back a little bit. Obviously, it's a little hard to mix up, but not impossible for sure. The honey makes it really thick, which will make it a good mask, because a mask, you want it to be relatively thick. There we go. Now I'm getting it mixed up. If I can hang on to the bowl. But you can see it's kind of a gray red. But anyway, yeah, I'm anxious to give this a try. Today I'll probably use it after I wash my face this evening, as I'm getting ready for bed. But anyway, there it is, guys. It really looks nicer in real life, I think, than it does in the camera, because it is kind of a reddish color. But regardless, it's going to be really beneficial for the skin. And honey doesn't go bad. It's antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, I believe, also. Anyway, in other words, bacteria can't grow in it. So the shelf life of this should be pretty long. And what I'm going to do is I will put this in a little jar for myself. Stick it in my cabinet above my bathroom sink and use it probably 2 or 3 times a week. So I will come back later and show you, the use of it, talk to you a little bit about it, what I think of it, how easy is it going to be to rinse off, that kind of stuff. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Okay, my hair's all combed out. Comment. Is this something you try on your skin? And here is the mask in the container. And I'm going to get some out and give it a try. I've noticed that it has hardened up some, so I will probably have to add a little water to it. And like I said in the video, I did have to add more honey. So I'm thinking that it still needs honey in it to soften it up, because it is quite thick. But anyway, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to put it in my hand, and I'm going to add just a little bit of water, because you don't want to put water in the container. That would cause mold and bacteria to grow. But just going to work this in a little bit and soften it up, because the water will actually, it'll evaporate on my skin, which is not going to hinder the performance of the mask. It might even help it penetrate a little deeper into the skin. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Just kind of pat it around. And like I've said before, I know I'm going to have to blend it up more, because there's some good sized chunks in here. But even at that, it works for an exfoliator. So I don't have a problem with it, But anyway, you can see the color. And do want to stress, you don't want to get too close to your face. I'm put just a little bit right above or right below, really, my eyebrows. And you could actually put this on your neck and your décolleté too. But I'm thinking that if you did that, you'd probably have to get in the shower to get everything rinsed off, you know. And I just got done taking a shower, so anyway, I'm going to let this set on my face for probably 15 to 20 minutes. Let it dry, let it do its thing. So when I'm ready to rinse it off, I'll come back and I'll show you. All right, it's been about 20 minutes and I am going to rinse it off. I think I'm going to use a washcloth and kind of soften it up and give that a try. Nice warm water. Just kind of, this is just what I'm trying, you know, but I'm going to lay this over my face. Kind of soften it up. And I think it'll remove easier. And it feels not as tight because it really did draw up. Whew, that's good. That's good for circulation, you know. So I have to say it has stimulated circulation. I mean, you can see the rosiness of my skin. That's a good sign. So I'm just going to gently remove this. It would be easier, you know, probably if I was splashing water in my face, but for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to use this. Like I said, I am using nice warm water. And if the chunks weren't there, I think it would be a little easier to remove also. But it's not bad. It's truly not bad. I don't know if you guys can see in the video here, but I am seeing my skin just kind of glowing. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And I would recommend, I suppose, using this 2 or 3 times a week, you know. Stimulating the circulation and pulling out impurities, you know, toxins out of the skin would be great, like I've said, you know, for someone with acne. Someone that wants to tighten and tone their skin. It's very, very, very nice feeling on my skin, and my skin looks, it looks different. It really does. So I honestly think that this is a win. A win-win. Got it down on my neck. So, if anyone has any questions, I will do my best to answer. And, you know, if anybody would like to try it, I can definitely make that happen too. So anyway, I want to thank you. I want to thank you all for watching, and give my video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. Is this something you would put on your skin? You know, would you give it a try? I'd like to hear what you have to say.